Welcome to your next C# project, Experiment with Controls, a hands-on discovery of .NET MAUI controls. I'm Andrew Stellman, author of Head First C#. Start by creating a new .NET MAUI project in Visual Studio 2022. Name it Experiment with Controls. You can get a full PDF of this project. Download the first 4 chapters of Head First C# from our GitHub page. The project will be in Chapter 2. Start by editing the code in mainpage.xaml. The first thing you want to do is collapse the controls in the editor. Collapse the image, labels, and button controls. Now run the app. Click the button a few times and watch the counter go up. Stop the app and use the debugger to explore how the counter works. Open mainpage.xaml.cs and add a breakpoint to the line that includes the count variable. Add a watch for the count variable. You'll see the value in the watch window. The count will go up every time you click the button. When you click the button, Visual Studio will pause, just like you saw earlier in Chapter 2. Use the Step Over or F10 function of the debugger to step through the app. Keep an eye on the watch window. You'll see the value go up every time you hit that line with a breakpoint. Stop your app and remove the breakpoint and go back to the XAML code. You're going to start by adding a new entry control, which will let you enter some text. After you add it, you can experiment with the control to see how it works. Your app now has a new control at the bottom. You may need to scroll down to see it. You can enter text into the control, as well as select, cut, paste, and delete. Now we're going to make the control do something. Close your app and go back to the control you just added. Set the placeholder text. You'll also make sure you set the semantic properties hint so your app can be accessible to people who use a screen reader. Run your app again. Now you'll see the placeholder text appear whenever your entry control is empty. Now you'll add 2 label controls, and you'll make your entry control update one of them. The first label control will be an indicator that tells the user what's going on. Add a second label. You'll name it entered text, and you'll use that name in your C# code to set the value for the label. You can use the properties window, but we're typing it directly because it's actually faster. Set the background of that label to gold. You'll see a little gold colored box showing you what color it is. Add a margin property to add a little space above the label. Again, we're typing it in instead of using the properties window. Now go back to your entry control and add a text change event handler. The IDE will automatically add the method for you. Go to the definition and enter the code for the method. This statement updates the label every time the text in the entry box changes. Run your app and test that out. Change the text and you'll see the label text change. Now stop your app. Next, you're going to add a stepper control that displays plus and minus buttons to increase or decrease a numeric value. Make sure you add your semantic properties again. Add a value changed event handler, which you'll use to change the label every time the value changes. Now you're going to add 2 more labels, just like the ones you added earlier. The second one is going to be light blue. Give it the name stepper value. And just like before, give it a margin to add a little space above it. Use go to definition to edit the event handler you added. Add the statement that sets the label text anytime the stepper value changes. Run your app and experiment with the stepper. Press the plus and minus buttons and you'll see the value change in the label. Close your app. Now you're going to add a slider control. The slider displays a bar with a handle that slides to set a value. You're going to add a value change event handler to this slider as well. You'll add 2 more label controls for the slider, and they'll work just like the ones you used for the stepper, except the label with the value for the slider is going to be called slider value. You can actually copy and paste the same control XAML and just change the word stepper to slider. Now go to the event handler method for the slider. You'll use the label's name to set the value. And again, you can copy and paste the event handler code and change your label name. Run your app, scroll down, and now you can slide the slider back and forth to see the value update. You notice that the stepper works too because they're updating different labels. For the last part of this app, you're going to use a picker control, which lets you pick items from a list. You'll add nested controls, so you have the picker on the left with a label above it, and a label that it updates to the right. Start by adding a HorizontalStackLayout tag. Notice that when you type in the tag, the IDE automatically adds a closing tag for you. Inside it, you'll add a VerticalStackLayout tag. These controls contain other controls. The horizontal one lays on that horizontally, the vertical one lays on that vertically. And your VerticalStackLayout control will contain a label. You can drag it right into it, and then underneath the label, you'll add your picker. Give it a name, bird picker, then add a second VerticalStackLayout underneath the first one so they appear side by side. The second VerticalStackLayout will contain two labels. That second label will be a multi-line label that displays the birds that the user picked. Give it the name birds. You're going to give it padding to give space between the text and the outside of the label. Then you're going to make it a white text with a dark blue background. Finally, underneath your horizontal stack layout, add a button called Add Bird. Your Add Bird button's clicked event handler adds the bird that's selected in the picker to a new line at the bottom of the birds label that you just added. Go to the very top of your C# code. There's a method called mainPage, and this is where you're going to initialize the items in your bird picker. You'll create a string array with a list of names of birds, and you'll learn a lot about string arrays later in the book. Go back to your button and add a clicked event handler. This event handler will add the selected bird to the label. Go to the code for the event handler and enter this statement. It adds a line break to the text in the label, and then adds the name of the bird that you selected. Now run your app and pick some birds. Pick a bird from the list, then click a button to add it. Do this a few times. Every time you add a bird, it makes the label a little bit longer, so you'll probably have to keep scrolling down your app. But hold on, something looks a little weird. Why is there an extra space at the top of the label? Looks like we've got a bug. Let's sleuth it out. Use the debugger to set a breakpoint inside the button's clicked event handler. Run the app and pick a bird. The breakpoint will pause the app. Now on that statement, go and add a watch for the bird.text property. If you look at the PDF for the book, you'll see step-by-step instructions on exactly how to do this. Notice that it starts out as null, then it adds /r/n to the beginning. Can you spot the problem? We can sleuth it out right here. When you add the first bird, it adds an extra new line to the start of the text. So now we can fix the event handler. This updated code only adds that new line at the beginning if there's already a value in the label. After that, it adds the value of the bird from the list. Read the chapter and take some time to understand what caused the bug. Sleuthing out bugs and using the debugger is a really valuable skill that'll help you throughout your C# learning. Run your app again, scroll down and add a new bird to the list. This time it doesn't have the extra space above it. Your bug is fixed, and that's the end of the project. Now you've got some core building blocks to build great apps in C# and .NET MAUI. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and check out our GitHub page for free downloads.